So for number 29, Adrian, you had a question on this one. For 29 and 33, it says determine whether it's convergent or divergent. If it's convergent, find its sum. You can always do what test? That's super quick. Test for divergence, yeah. So test for divergence says to do what? So you take the limit as n goes to infinity, right, of your function. And if it doesn't equal 0, what's true? It's divergent. Okay, this doesn't prove anything about convergence, okay? If it equals 0, it's just inconclusive. But if we take this and we take the limit as you go to infinity, wouldn't you just get a third? Okay, and the same thing, this one's a little bit harder. So if this is a third, it's not equal to 0, so this one you can say is divergent because of the test for divergence. You wouldn't be able to determine convergence. You'd have to try a different test or try something different if it was equal to 0. Okay, so this one here, if you try to do the limit, yeah, correct. Okay, so this one here I'm going to write as 2 to the 1 over n power. If you plug in infinity, don't you get 2 to the 0, which is 1? So what can you say about it then? Divergent, because of the test for divergence. Okay, always write what test you're using. So this one is one of those where you're going to split it, right? So you split it into the two pieces. So we have to find what this piece is. And then we know this other piece here is 1 from the notes. So, okay. So I'm not going to write all the notation. We know this part's 1. This part's the new part here. We're going to start by plugging in 1 and then going to infinity. So if I plug 1 in, I get 1 over e. Plug 2 in, I get 1 over e squared, and so on, right? So my a is equal to 1 over e, and my r is 1 over e. So when you do a over 1 minus r, we have this over 1 minus this. Now, the quickest way, multiply by e. So if we multiply by e, we get 1 over e minus 1. And now we have to add 1 on to that, right? So get a common denominator. The common denominator would be e minus 1, right? So we have 1 over e minus 1 plus e minus 1 over e minus 1. You guys okay with that? So the denominator is e minus 1. And the numerator would turn into what?